Thanks for joining us on KGW Plus. I'm Tim Gordon. Rod will be along in a few minutes with your first look at your weather forecast. But first, here are today's top stories. In Sandy, officials have confirmed that multiple people are dead after a shooting. One officer was also shot multiple times, but they are expected to survive. This first began as a domestic disturbance and a shooting call just before 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. People living in the area were told to shelter in place while dozens of officers and deputies swarmed the scene for hours as the suspect was confined to a home. Police say the suspect surrendered and was taken into custody. He's in court this afternoon. The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office is searching for the suspect of a road rage shooting. Just before 3 a.m. Sunday, dispatchers got a 911 call from a driver who said someone shot into their car. This was in the area of Southeast Foster Road and Southeast Ritchie Road. There were 3 people inside at the time, but no one was hurt. The Sheriff's Office says the suspect's vehicle is an older blue Ford Expedition with a gold-colored bumper, no license plates, and a temporary tag in the rear window. If you have any information on this vehicle or shooter, you're asked to reach out to the Sheriff's Office. Well, parking permits for popular Sauvie Island beaches go on sale today. You'll need the permits at Walton, Collins, and North Unit beaches every weekend this summer and on holidays. A daily beach permit is $10 and a seasonal permit is $30. Officials say they'll be checking for printed permits or receipts. All right, taking a live look from our Wells Fargo sky cam now, where we are expecting temperatures into the 80s this afternoon. Beautiful blue skies out there. Rod Hill standing by in the Weather Center, tracking even warmer weather. Rod? Yeah, and Tim, everybody has the same sunshine. We'll have the same sun tomorrow. It's a 2-day warm up. Remember, over the weekend, it was only 68 on Saturday. It was 73 yesterday for high, and we're 75 right now at noon as you look from the Chehalem tasting room camera at all of the sunshine over the vineyard out in Sherwood. So we are on a rapid pace in comparison. Here are the other numbers. We're about the same. Gresham lagging behind 68, but look at Tigard shooting to 76. There's Wilsonville at 71 degrees. Our state capital is 70, and Albany also 70 degrees. Weather models say at least low 80s this afternoon with sunshine. North breezes out there to about 10-15 miles per hour at times. So I think this would be at least 83. I'm going to leave the forecast to 86, believing we will get into the mid 80s. And every single piece of weather data still supports us reaching 90 degrees for only the second time this year. We'll do that tomorrow, but then we drop back down. So if you don't like the warm to hot weather, come Wednesday, it'll be a different story. We'll have your 7-day forecast for you, of course, coming up, Tim. Okay, Rod, thank you. This afternoon, flags across the state of Washington are flying at half-staff in memory of the 11 lives lost in the Longview paper mill implosion. Over the weekend, the remaining bodies were pulled from the implosion site, and now all 11 victims have been identified. As the community continues to rally around each other, an extensive environmental cleanup is underway right now to get the toxic chemicals out of the area around the mill. According to updates from Washington's Department of Ecology, the pH levels of water surrounding the Pond Dynawave are still safe. Most of the white liquor spilled didn't leave the site, but the EPA is rushing to dilute the chemical that did spill into storm drains and ditches before discharging that water into the Columbia River.
That ditch is connected to a dike network that moves throughout the entire community of Longview. It literally runs through people's backyards.
Nearly 2,000 dead fish have been found near the mill, with more expected. Longview's drinking water, which comes from a deep aquifer, remains safe, but officials urge people to avoid affected sloughs, dikes, and drainage ditches. And now that all the victims have been recovered, investigators are beginning the long process of determining what went wrong. And as that process takes place, the community continues to come together for those killed or impacted. Our Devin Haskins has more.
Over the weekend in Longview, several fundraisers and a memorial service for one of the victims in this tragedy. At Bob's Sporting Goods here in Longview, hundreds of people lined up outside the store for a barbecue fundraiser. People encouraged to pay what they could, with all proceeds going to the families impacted by the incident. Also in Longview, multiple vendors at the Cowlitz Community Farmers Market donated some of their proceeds to the families. And even in other cities like in Kalama, a coffee shop owner donating their entire Sunday sales to the affected families.
Absolutely heartbreaking, devastating. And so I feel like in times like these, there's not a whole lot you can do other than coming together. And I feel like we are community strong through and through. We always come together, and right now that's what we need to do.
On Sunday, a service held for Gilbert Bernal, one of the victims in this tragic incident. And at buildings across Washington state, Governor Bob Ferguson ordering flags to be flown at half staff in honor of the victims. In Longview, I'm Devin Haskins, KGW News.
And now to the growing concern over the potential spread of Ebola ahead of the 2026 FIFA World Cup, where millions of people are expected to travel to the United States. Jen Sullivan has an update on the Ebola outbreak and how the U.S. is responding.
The Director General of the World Health Organization traveling to the epicenter of the Ebola outbreak Saturday, where despair and desperation are prevalent in the Democratic Republic of Congo as the deadly virus rapidly spreads. At least 238 people are believed to have died, and there are more than 1,000 suspected infections since the outbreak was first declared May 15th. WHO has said the outbreak in DRC and Uganda is a public emergency of international concern. Multiple agencies across the globe, including the Red Cross, have traveled to Western Africa to help.
Without health workers, it will be very difficult then to help patients.
This particular strand of Ebola is extremely rare, and there's no approved vaccines or treatments.
Are you worried that this could spread to the level that we saw in 2014?
It depends on how we respond.
As a precaution, the U.S. has banned non-U.S. citizens who have recently traveled from Congo, Uganda, or South Sudan from entering the U.S. for 21 days.
We cannot and will not allow any cases of Ebola to enter the United States.
With less than 2 weeks until the first World Cup game in Los Angeles, there's growing concern about containing the spread of Ebola. Flights carrying passengers from affected African regions will land at specific airports in New York, Virginia, Atlanta, and Houston to undergo health screenings. The U.S. State Department estimates 5 to 7 million people will travel to the U.S. for the World Cup matches. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
30 people have been arrested after a months-long human trafficking mission. Portland police say they focused on the area of Northeast 82nd Avenue and Northeast Sandy Boulevard. Among those arrested, at least 3 people were charged with purchasing sex with a minor. One was also charged with unlawful firearm possession. During the mission, officers got in touch with more than 100 survivors of human trafficking and offered them advocacy services. In Woodburn, a man is facing charges after attacking a woman and causing a standoff with police. Just after 7 o'clock Friday night, officers were told that 29-year-old Donald Finlayson attacked a woman twice while in possession of a firearm. When police arrived, they say Finlayson shut himself into a unit at the Woodburn Villa Apartments. SWAT officers were called in to assist, but after about 2 hours, police say he surrendered peacefully. Officials are trying to figure out what sparked a fire at a cannabis growing facility in Estacada. This happened just before 11 Saturday morning on Northwest Noble Drive. When crews arrived, they found heavy smoke as well as pressurized containers and liquid fertilizers that were threatened by the fire. Crews had to call in PGE to secure the power as crews crawled under growing racks to reach the source of that fire. One firefighter was treated for heat exhaustion. The cause is under investigation. Well, next time you fly out of PDX, you'll likely walk by a brand new tasting room, and you can cash in on a free drink. I'll tell you how next.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, watch extended coverage on the KGW app. KGW app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. Stream the KGW app now on your phone or TV for free. When news breaks,
police are asking some people to stay inside their homes.
There are still emergency crews that are on scene here.
the team you trust
Police tell us this is an ongoing investigation.
is on the KGW app.
And this was just one of many parks that was shut down because of this atmospheric river.
That is some new information that we just got from Portland police.
There is no danger to the public. We'll keep you updated as we learn more.
Follow breaking news as it happens on the KGW app.
Well, PDX is offering a new experience for travelers who are 21 and over. Freeland Spirits Distillery just opened a tasting room at the airport, and if you're willing to invest, you can get a free drink every trip. Libby Dowsett has more.
Oh, that's so cute. The founder of Freeland Spirits says the free small drink each time through the airport is for anyone 21 and older who invests $500 or more in the company's crowdfunding campaign. She says the campaign has already raised nearly $700,000 to support its new PDX tasting room, stocked with a rainbow of gin and bourbon choices.
At the full bar, you can have cocktails, you can do tastings.
CEO Jill Keeler says she's been working on this opening for 3 years to coincide with PDX's $2 billion airport remodel. She takes pride in the fact it's woman-owned and features other female-owned company products.
We're one of the first and only women-owned distilleries in history.
Keeler says bright sunshine on the shop's fanciful David Rice mural attracts all types of travelers.
The pink gin smells like a juniper plant in the forest.
She said, we should go see it. And I said, okay. And so I tried 5 things, and you tried 2.
Colin Letson, in town for his son's graduation, tasted both the gin and the bourbon.
It's 10:30 in the morning. We're already getting after it. I like this. Why not?
Keeler says scoring a choice corner right past security is a glowing endorsement.
What's so amazing about the Portland Airport is that they really feature the best of Portland businesses in here, so we're among such great company.
She said grab a snack from a neighboring shop and bring it right in.
What else are you going to do with 3 hours before your flight?
At PDX, Libby Dowsett, KGW News.
Let's not encourage people to drink for 3 hours before they get on their flight. Come on. Here's the Oregon Zoo camera up in the West Hills at 72 degrees, and look at all the people out enjoying. It'll get uncomfortably hot for many of you tomorrow afternoon, maybe even later today. That's ahead of my forecast.
I'm David Mulco, the evening anchor at KGW. Though when I'm not working, I like to spend as much time as possible out here in nature. So I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. You see, what happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still, it moves. It moves you to act, to vote, to volunteer, to talk about it, to speak up, or to lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at KGW, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Portland.
Okay, in the Cascades, ODOT is asking cyclists to stay off McKenzie Pass, even if the scenic highway looks ready to ride. Highway 242 sits at about 5,000 feet and closes each winter as it's buried in snow and really requires extensive spring cleanup. ODOT says right now crews are removing hazardous debris with chainsaws and heavy machinery beyond the gates. And going around them, if you're doing that, going around those gates really puts the workers and the bike riders at risk. So don't do it.
I mean, the sign looks pretty obvious there,
It's pretty
right?
clear, yeah, but people are taking their bikes around. They don't have to follow that rule. They do.
I've been on. You've driven that stretch. It's
Beautiful.
gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah. All right. Well, if you haven't seen this yet, the updated June outlook from our friends at the Weather Service and NOAA, calling for all of the west and the northern tier of our country to see temperatures through the entire month of June average to be above normal. Now, what exactly does that mean? Now, keep in mind, we were basically, give or take, we were right about 2 degrees above normal in March. We were about 2 degrees above normal in April. The May climate numbers are in, and again, we're right about 2 degrees above normal. And if you think back, those months were pleasant, but they weren't crazy warm to hot. So maybe that's what we're looking at. The month of June does average 2 90-degree days. Last year we had 4, and we're going to have 1 tomorrow. So certainly possible that we could also have a little stretch of 90-degree heat toward the end of the month. Precip-wise, this is concerning because it puts us still in that below normal category. And boy, the modeling and the outlooks just nailed May, saying below normal. We had less than 7/10 of an inch. Normally May produces 2.5 inches of rain. So all of a sudden, if you're looking at a dry May, a dry June, July, we never get much rain, period. August, we never get much rain, period. So now we're looking at, if we don't get help in June, 4 consecutive months of a dry season. That's problematic to lengthening and perhaps worsening the fire season. So we get warmer today. We're in the 80s. I think we'll be up in the 90s tomorrow. This is a cool down that arrives on Wednesday. So this time around, today and tomorrow, a little spurt in heat, and then we quickly come back down. A lot of sun today. This is 2 o'clock tomorrow. A lot of sun on Futurecasting. Cloudiness comes in the evening and overnight. And this is 10 o'clock Wednesday morning. Look at all the clouds with the cooler wave. The green specks represent shower activity. Maybe we get something measurable. It doesn't look like there's much precip Wednesday. The bigger story is probably just clouds and holding temperatures well back down into the 70s. Then we'll stay comfortable the rest of the week. There's a stronger system coming in Friday overnight, Saturday, and of course Saturday evening is the Grand Floral Starlight Parade. It is what it is. We'll keep you updated on a cooler looking weekend with, at this point, likely we'll get rain at times. Here's a Salem sky camera, gorgeous, 70 degrees at high noon. One more view for you. This is up in Vancouver. Look at the blue waters of the Columbia thanks to all the sun coming down from the Vancouver, the Springs at the waterfront location, and it's 70 degrees there as well. The Dow's 75, 77 up in Yakima, 70 in Bend, 68 in Astoria. So there are the 70-degree temperatures that we thought would be likely for highs today. I mean, Astoria is going to warm up at least a couple more degrees. This shows 71, 72 in Pacific City, north winds at the coast, 5 to 15. Valley numbers, low to mid 80s, I believe, is where we will end up. This shows Salem at 84 degrees, shows Kelso Longview getting up to 81, and then mid 80s this afternoon in Clark County. This particular model is not as warm as what I just showed you. It does show 84 degrees this afternoon out in the Dalles, and here's the 7-day. We could be as warm as 86 today, as warm as 93 tomorrow, second 90-degree day of the year, we believe. And then there's the shower threat in 74 on Wednesday, the comfortable weather into Friday, and then the big drop with likely showers and a high of only 62 on Saturday. Not perfect for the biggest weekend of the Rose Festival, but right now it doesn't look like it's going to be that toasty. Back to you.
We've been there before.
Yep.
So here we go. Thanks, Rod. Well, a Portland artist made his way to Los Angeles to hang out with Kelly Clarkson. How his hobby got him on national television after the break.
Matt, how long is this break in the rain going to last?
About another day, Christine. Again, another atmospheric river hitting the northwest. This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, watch extended coverage on the KGW app.
Want more sunrise? We got you covered.
You can stream an extra 2 hours of live morning news on KGW streaming apps. That means more local stories and extended coverage of breaking news. What's it looking like out there? We making any progress?
Plus live weather and traffic updates as they happen.
And this is our first trouble spot of the morning.
We have a gorgeous day coming up.
We are live on KGW Sunrise weekday mornings from 5 to 9. Stream on your time with KGW.
I was incredibly unemployed, living with my girlfriend at the time, and I was trying to help around the house, and I borrowed a jigsaw from the neighbor, which terrified me.
Yeah.
I was cutting up some plywood to take to the dump,
Yeah.
and I realized I could like make shapes.
That's Portland artist Mike Bennett sitting down with Kelly Clarkson to talk about the happy accident that turned into a Portland institution. Bennett is known for his quirky cutouts like Calvin and Hobbes and this Bernie Sanders cutout. There he is in a mask that went viral during the pandemic. The hobby turned into a spectacle that drew thousands of visitors and over the years gained him a loyal following online.
All we knew we could do at that time was go for walks, and my house went from like a roadside attraction to like a community space, and it was a really special thing.
By the way, is open to the public on weekends free of charge. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Christine Padawanich. I'm a journalist at KGW, and I love exploring Portland's amazing food scene. New spot? I'm there. So I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. What happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still, it moves. It moves you to act, to vote, to volunteer, to speak up, or to lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the good stuff that stays with you wherever you are. And at KGW, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Portland.
Well, summer is right around the corner, and Peabot and Plaid Pantry are teaming up for a summer of safe riding. Starting today, they're giving out over 5,000 bike helmets at 53 Plaid Pantry locations across Portland area. Helmets will be available on a first-come, first-served basis to people 12 years old and up. Peabot is also using this as a chance to remind people about being safe while they bike or scooter. Anyone 16 and older is required to wear a helmet while on a public path or roadway. That applies to bikes and e-scooters, yeah, even if you rent them. And riding a bike on a scooter or a scooter on the sidewalk, by the way, is illegal in Portland. So be careful out there, but enjoy the weather while you're out there.
And good for Plaid Pantry getting involved in our community, and obviously important to have a helmet on.
Local business. Yep.
Warming up this afternoon into the 80s, which will feel really warm because remember on Saturday it was 68 and yesterday was 73, which is about where we are right now. So at least mid 80s, which is my way of saying at least 84. I have 86 on the board. Tomorrow at least into the 90s, maybe 93. Record tomorrow is 98. The records this time of the year are mostly, not all, but mostly mid to upper 90s.
Wow.
And there's that big drop Wednesday. So this kind of reminds you of May. We would have these little spurts of where it got kind of warm to toasty, and then boom, the bottom fell out. And that's what's going to happen this week. Right now, 62 with likely showers on Saturday, which of course is the big Rose Festival parade. The Rose Festival Starlight combined in the evening hours, the big parade this year.
Yeah, it is. So you might need a poncho for that, but you're used to that. Good variety in the forecast. Thanks, Rod. Appreciate it. A reminder, we've added more live news to KGW Plus. Tune in to Sunrise exclusively on KGW Plus from 7 to 9 a.m. and then later tonight it's also at 5:30 streaming. We hope to see you then. I'll see you at 4 o'clock. Have a great day, everyone.